Well, folks, you know what time it is. It's a whole week of working on the Scania time. We've got a bunch of cool parts here. We gotta get this thing ready for Cleanest and Cars burnout competition this weekend. Just a little rundown of what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be fixing whatever air leak that is. We got a new turbo to go on it right here from our friends over at PDI. That's going down in this video. Turbo put on there. We're gonna be completely getting rid of both fuel tanks on both sides, mounting a fuel cell right up here, putting a huge stack on it, building some custom full quarter-inch steel fenders so protect people's faces from these tires blow up, getting rid of the fifth wheel. Lots of stuff happening to get this Scania to where it is 100% a burnout ready, burnout competition winning, burnout truck. Let's get to it. So first things first, like I was saying, we're gonna start getting everything off of here we don't need before we start installing stuff. So before we get the turbo put on there, we're gonna get the fuel tanks off of this thing. I don't know how much fuel's in them. We could use some extra fuel. And thankfully they are a top feed style fuel thing there. We're gonna be mounting a fuel cell right up here on top. So it'd be way easier to work on everything, fab up our fenders we're putting on it, and do all this work with the fuel tanks out of the way. So I think they're gonna come off really easy because there's only like one strap right here, one strap on that side holding that one. That's like a fuel tank and an oil tank. So let's get the fuel tanks off here. We'll let the rear airbags all the way down right quick. And we'll be able to do something, I'm thinking, because we want the exhaust sound, we'll do like a bunch of spins and turns in the exhaust pipe. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Fuel tank's gonna come off. Fifth wheel's coming off, so let's get to unbolting stuff and tearing it apart. All right, guys, so we got the fuel tank off. It happened a lot easier than I thought it would. We had to cut some stuff off of this pipe here. We're gonna be getting rid of this pipe right here completely because we're putting fenders across. And our plan is the metal fenders that come across here, we're just gonna take and make some plates or some bars that go across to hold them that bolt right in place of where the fifth wheel was already at. So that should make things quite easy when it comes to removing the fenders or put them back on, whatever it may be. So now we just gotta get rid of, this is exhaust.
Jeez.
What the heck? So we're gonna get all these unbolted, get rid of them completely. This battery box is literally, dude, look at that thing.
Falling apart.
When you get the batteries out of there, we'll have to find a new place for the batteries, and we have to do all this literally between now and Friday. So Thursday, and I'm not gonna be here for half of tomorrow or all day Wednesday. I gotta get my passport. So, all right, well, we'll probably slide that to their side now. Get the other fuel tank off. The fuel tanks will be out of the way. We'll start removing our fuel tank mounts because we don't need these things no more. So while removing this fuel tank, we had the fuel valve shut off on both, but it was still draining. Well, it's got a hydraulic tank right here that I figured wasn't being used. Well, what they did is they plumbed the hydraulic hose output back into the fuel system so it was feeding our fuel drain. That's why it kept draining and draining. So thankfully there's a valve on the back of it. Lake, were you able to get to it? Blake's trying to turn it off now. Once he turns that off, we'll be able to finish cutting fuel lines. Like I said, we're putting a FASS Fuel System on it, and this thing's gonna have all the fuel pressure. Lots of fuel pressure. Like a random little toolbox right here. Coming off. And people are gonna be so mad when they see this.
Oh yeah.
People are already still mad and talking trash. Did you get it turned off?
It looks like it. It looks like the flow isn't as strong as it was.
Yeah, it looks like you did. Okay. Well, now just finish cutting that.
Where's that knife at? Should be on top of the fuel tank.
And we need to find a pallet to put that fuel tank on again. Quite a bit in it. So we're gonna put this thing on one of the pallet racks over here in the air, and then whenever we need diesel fuel for anything, we'll just drain it out of this.
Oh.
I'm a fart smeller, aren't I?
Something like that.
Ready?
Been ready.
That's 2 fuel tanks uninstalled. We're now your North American headquarters of working on Scania trucks. Just give us a call. Look how tall that frame is. It's crazy now looking at it.
I don't think we'd get much work
What's that?
working on Scanias around here.
How do you get this off here? We gotta get. It just like.
Oh, dude.
I thought it just pulled off.
Oh my.
Oh, there it is. So now we've got our fuel tank off. We gotta cut these things out of the way. We're gonna get rid of this car here completely because this thing right here is like a whole bunch of nothing. I think where maybe a muffler used to be at one point, if I had to guess. There's lots of lines here where I don't know if this is like cab jack points or something are. I don't know, but the cab jack is underneath there, and it'd be way easier if it was up high. You know what, Ryan? I'm gonna do us all a favor, right? I'm gonna order us an air cab jack, only for you.
Why?
If you just hit a button, it goes.
Oh.
And it goes up.
So
All right,
no
let's
more
keep her moving. We'll get the fuel out of the way before we break the torch out. We keep cutting on stuff, but I think the fastest way to get all of this loose is just to cut everything. Everything? Everything. All right, let's slide some fuel out of the way. Look at all the rust. This is just, people don't understand how bad a shape this truck is in. And to try to restore it here in America is like impossible.
You just like making the world's biggest mess, don't you?
Well, I'm just showing them how much rust there is. Yes. Cases are coming off. Dude, look at all the space. So much room for activities. Mike said we should put a couch right here somewhere. And we'd have a drift couch.
Oh, shoot.
Can you imagine? Sit on a couch, strapped in, this truck's just swinging around.
Eating all that rubber.
Be crazy. Be crazy, cuh. Alright, we gotta put a bolt back in that because that holds our transmission clutch number, so we need to gather up some water. I got the nut somewhere right there that works. We need some spacers to space it back out. Actually, we might put that back there because we might can use that for some kind of a mount for exhaust. Who knows, you know? You know what I'm saying? We'll just leave it there for now. That goes too, but it's there.
What, those metal ones?
Do you know what size wrench goes on the bottom of this yet?
I think it should be
Probably the same size as that. Would you say it was a 30 something or a 27?
inch and 15 should hold it.
There should be a 27 millimeter wrench in my toolbox. So next we've got everything cleaned off that side. We got to tell them about something else, Ryan. We got to remount, put it in reverse, Randy. We got to remount our cab jack right there. I'm thinking about maybe upgrading to an air over hydraulic style cab jack, but for now, we're gonna have to mount that one up because I don't know if we'll find an air over hydraulic cab jack by Friday. My plan is to have this thing completely done Thursday night, Friday morning, so we can load up Friday and go down south. Tim Gentry is supposed to be bringing us a dolly because you can't put this thing on a trailer because it's so tall. So we can pick the back of this thing up and pull it down the road. The only thing I'm worried about now is this thing's gonna be so light in the rear end that if we hit the brakes too hard, this truck might just go. We should make a video doing that. Trying to do a stoppie with... Dude, I did a stoppie with my semi.
Shoot.
You imagine? It's like...
Hopefully you don't go too far.
Alright, we got some stuff right here ready to pull the fifth wheel off. Let's get her off. Now we got our fifth wheel off. There is so much more room for activities. The only thing I got to figure out is, like, maybe you can comment down below. If we keep our drive shaft angle perfectly straight out of the rear end, and we give it a little bit of pitch so our bearings and our U-joints are moving around like they should. I think that's what we need to do, is keep it pitched just a little bit. Battery box. The more we dive into this thing, the more people are going to be able to see just how bad a shape this thing's in. Because if we were in Sweden or anywhere in Europe, we could just call up the parts house and go get a used battery box, kind of like we do for parts here for trucks here in the U.S. for a rolling truck, for example. But this, we're talking $1,000 to get something like that shipped to America without even buying the part yet. So we're gonna get rid of the battery box, probably mount the batteries up here, or I might order like a battery mounting trays from Summit. We'll mount them right to the frame. We might just make some out of steel and mount them right there.
Make them cool upside down.
Batteries hang upside down. So we're gonna get this battery tray. Probably just gonna hack it like right here around that. I don't know, because we need to still be able to support the fender somehow, but at the same time get rid of this old clanky tray here. So I think we need to have Lakes on standby with a fire extinguisher, and we'll start cutting it with a torch. So I got our jack kind of mounted on here. Hopefully it don't break off. Dakota showed up. He's measuring our fenders. There it is, guys. We had to put 4,000 pounds of lead on the back of this thing to get it to go back down. See how low it goes now?
Drop it low.
So I was saying we're gonna have to do the. You ain't moving that. They're full
Not
of
even metal on
They're
metal.
full of lead. I think we might have to put those on the back for the. We might be able, when we build the bars across, just be able to bolt them or weld them right to the fender set.
Why don't we just?
If we have those in the back, when it does sling, it's gonna keep going. Folks, last night was a late night here in the shop. Dakota came up here. You just saw, I guess. We've got the template made for our fenders to go on the Scania here. We had to put, because the cab is folded forward, we had to put nearly, I mean, these blocks weigh like 1,500 pounds a piece. We had to put almost 3,000, 3,500 pounds of weight just to make the frame sag back down, because I took all the air out of the airbags. It still wouldn't go down. So one thing that was really holding the thing from flipping forward was the rear axle barely sitting on the ground. So what I'm thinking is, because we've taken so much weight, the fuel tanks, the fifth wheel off of here, we're gonna have to put some blocks of lead somewhere on the back of the truck to keep this thing, so it actually has weight on the ground to do a real burnout. So it's one thing that concerns me. I'm wondering if we end up going with just one tire on each side instead of duals. I know maybe that defeats the purpose, but I want to blow a tire on this here burnout. So today, Had to go to Tampa and handle a few things with Amber, but Lake has been here all day, got a lot of stuff cleaned up. We've got our junk pile there. We are going to be saving like the fuel tank mounts and a few other things off the truck just because it's like a Scania only kind of deal. So we don't want to throw anything away, but the stuff that's truly scrapped is getting gone. Other huge announcement. Ryan and his wife, Courtney, are having their baby right now, so Aaron's behind the camera filling in for him. So if our camera styles change up in the next couple days or even week, who knows how long, you'll know why. But y'all drop a comment congratulating Ryan, because I'm sure he's going to read the comments on this video that his baby's on the way. It's not here yet as of this video filming right now, but baby is on the way, so that's why Ryan is not here right now. So yeah, let's get into doing a few more things on the truck tonight. So last night we were talking about getting rid of the fuel tanks and putting a fuel cell, and this is the original fuel cell out of the flat, nasty mega truck, and I've had it sitting around for a while. So we've got a FASS Fuel System on the way, and my plans are to have this fuel cell sitting somewhere up here, or maybe midship, or maybe even as far as back here, because we're going to be getting a stack coming right out the back of that turbo. Speaking of stacks, I ordered a bunch of exhaust pipes, kind of like that, exhaust pipe bins, so we can just make a bunch of bins and make that exhaust crackle and pop really loud. And we may put it like right here somewhere, or over the back of the frame, depending on how much time we have, because right now it's Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday. I fly to Miami to get my passport. I had to get a rush passport because we're picking up something very special. Maybe you guys can guess what it is. Picking up something very special up in Canada in next week. So that's what's going on there. But for now, I want to get this big old plate right here unbolted, figure out how to get all the hoses undone behind it, and reveal access to that turbo. And I think it'll look really cool being able to see right up in there and see that turbo just cranking all the smoke out of it. For the most part, we don't need any of these wires that are on here. Well, we don't need them at all, actually. But maybe I'll do it the right way and disconnect them. Probably not. These airlines and stuff, we are going to have to. I don't need this thing either. That's just a fire waiting to happen right there. Insulation and dust. These airlines right here, we actually blocked off. Oh, okay.
That just broke.
We actually blocked off. Dang, it's not working out, does it? It's either gonna come out or it's gonna break. That works. Because we don't have a trailer or nothing. Oh, that one broke too, didn't it? Or did it? Yeah, it's going to. Oh, there it goes. Ow! So, get these airlines off of here. We'll get them all blocked off. This was for the original like trailer connections. This truck was still used for hauling stuff over across the pond. We have so much to do between now and like thinking about we're leaving Friday to go down there or go Saturday morning. So much to do. I'm seeing a couple differences on our turbo we've got versus this one right here that we're gonna have to make some things to adapt. Nonetheless, we're gonna figure it out. But so that's just that one wire that goes into this box. It's like a distribution box there or something, but hey, nothing, a little snip won't hurt. Get that right there cut. Yeah, come off there.
Maybe I'll just pull it out of the box.
Oh, there we go. It's cut, that's out of the way. Whatever this plug's for is gonna get cut too. Because again, we don't need any of these wires for doing burnouts. We will need to separate them though, because I think some of these may be for like the trailer ABS or something like that. So we don't want to be tripping the truck computer out. Also, like this thing right here is like a full truck grease system. Isn't that crazy? Like these trucks had an automatic grease system in 1996, and we don't even have that here in the US at all right now. So first things up, we're gonna get this thing unbolted. We already got all the stuff unhooked from the back of it. This battery box is really starting to piss me off because of how terrible the shape it's in. It just looks super ugly. But it's got some like stuff bolted to the bottom of it, so we have to custom fab some stuff. But one thing at a time, Bruce. Let's get this thing out of here somehow. here to this stuff is impossible. All right, got all those out very carefully. I'm just gonna pull this thing out of here. Oh boy. Yeah. Boom. Even more weight coming off the back of this thing. But look at all that room we have in there, Cotton. We can get to the transmission now pretty easy. Shoot. We're ready to do a clutch job on this thing. All right. We gotta figure out what to do with those two lines. I guess we can maybe get this exhaust pipe off right quick. We'll spray it with some lubricant for all these clamps and stuff. There's this exhaust brake pipe here, which we're not gonna be using an exhaust brake anymore, so we can get rid of that, I reckon. What else did we want to do tonight? We're running out of time. I guess we can get this pipe right here out of the way, or these mounts. We need a deck plate. That's our next thing, is getting a deck plate on this thing. So we got something to work on. All right, oh boy. Well, that's interesting. That boy just, oh, flop around, McFlopper. Look at that. There's another elbow we can use for making our crazy bendy pipe we gotta put on there. We can get that line right there loose. What do you think? Yes, I think so. I think there's a mount somewhere back in here for this turbo. Get this right here. Should be an 11. Probably not. Look, it's probably a 10. Heck yeah. Well, let me go get a 10. We'll do it from this side because I want to get this little pipe here loose first, while we've still got this thing bolted up. I guess I could have used a correct size wrench, but we're just going to do this because it's easier this way. Now keep in mind, we're going to try to save all these Scania parts like this that's still good, because you never know, we may have another truck another truck that we can use them on. So gotta remember that. That's okay. We don't need it anyways. There was a hammer here somewhere. Where did it go?
Is it right here?
It's right here. Here it is. Here we go. Good hammer. One turbo down pipe off. I don't know what condition this turbo wheel is in. That boy's pretty tight, actually. Now, I better be careful and quit being a smart butt, because we haven't confirmed that new turbo is going to fit perfectly yet. And that's a big project for like tomorrow night or Thursday. So, okay. Well, that's out of the way. I'd like to get all this poop unbolted out of here. And that stuff's just going to make us get all itchy. Something else. God, I keep forgetting all the stuff we got to do. We got to figure out a way to, because these are actually parking brake chambers on the front, is we're going to have to like cage them boys so that we can tow it down the road too. And there's so much to do between now and Saturday night. Oh my goodness. One thing at a time. Let's go to the drawing board and start drawing. All right, so first things first, we got to do the turbo. We're building a set of rear fenders. We got to put decals on there with our YouTube, Bruce Wilson Shop, and our sponsors and things like that. I hooked us up with parts. I thought about adding a big air tank, but we can do that later. This is like must-have stuff right now. We've got, if you can read my handwriting, block off the rear brakes, the battery disconnect because the batteries keep going dead. We got to build some battery boxes, which I ordered from Summit. They'll be here tomorrow. Oh my gosh, this is getting so long. Battery boxes. What else did I order? We got battery cables, battery disconnect, like we said right there. What did I just mention, Aaron, over there? We needed to do? Oh, turbo. Block front parking brakes. We got to figure out how to disconnect the, oh my goodness, front Parking brakes. We've got to figure out how to disengage the brake pressure switch, because whenever you hit the brakes, the engine just like starts bogging down, not because you're hitting brake pressure, but it sees a brake pressure switch and it's like, nope, we're not running no more. So we got to figure out how to delete that. Oh my gosh, this list is getting long. I think that's pretty solid. We can do the turbo if we get time. I really want to. We're going to do everything we can to do it, but fenders have to happen. Rear chains. Where am I at here? Where am I at? Where's the chain rear suspension up? Okay. Fuel cell. Oh my goodness. FASS Fuel System we got because we ripped all the fuel tanks out of there. So we've got to figure out how to do something with the factory fuel pump on the side of the injection pump, whether the FASS feeds it, which will work for now, I believe, or eventually block it off one day. So that's our list right now, things we've got to get handled before Cletus and Cars that we leave and go there Saturday morning. So back to the truck. So I figured one last thing, we want to clean this battery box up. It looks terrible, and I feel like someone's going to get cut and need a tetanus shot after that. So let's fire the old torch up. Wherever my striker went, you see the striker anywhere? There it is, right there. And get to cutting on this thing. Aaron had me scared there for a minute. It ended up just being a rag on the ground that we didn't see burning when I was starting to cut that box. That was a close one, dude. All right, well, we're getting the video there before we get hurt. We've been going all day doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Here you go. Well, here, this is all you do, kids. When there's a fire, don't stomp on it. Just put another rag over it.
And then stomp.
Maybe, and then puts it out. So, well, we'll be back all this week until the Scania is done. This is all we're doing videos on this week. Some of you may be wondering about Blue Collar the Cabover and the giveaway. We've got stuff on the way forward, waiting for a bunch of parts to gather up for the engine rebuild, stacks, all kinds of other cool stuff for it coming. We've got an AC compressor, most of you know. But the last couple weeks of the giveaway are going to be nothing but Blue Collar videos, banger after banger, getting it ready to rip. Like I said, no more anything this week but the Scania until we're headed to Cletus and Cars doing a burnout with it. We're getting projects finished because Bruce doesn't finish projects. So make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Comment down below, tell Ryan happy Kidmas, I guess. I don't know. Happy birthday,
Thanks, birthday.
Day of birth for his kid. Go to BruceWilsonShop.com, get entered in, go grab our new hats now on the website. Win Blue Collar the Cabover and $5,000 in cash, guys. See you later. Peace.